going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got to talk about Mark Jackson as he set the record straight on why he's not going to be backing up Clyde Frazier, doing the coverage and the commentating for the Knicks games. Now, it was originally slated for him to fill in when Walt Frazier wasn't there, but it came out today. There was a report like it was some coach he fired back in Golden State in 2014 that is holding some kind of grudge, and that's why the Knicks wouldn't bring Mark Jackson on. Now, that sounded a bit fuzzy to me, didn't sound really believable because he's going to be commentating games. There's plenty of people that commentate for networks that don't like the current staff or players or what have you. So that sounded a little far-fetched for me, but you never know what to believe nowadays. But Mark Jackson has sit back and heard the lies over and over again, and this is what he had to say. Let's peep.
Come on, man. Come on. At some point, the lies have got to stop. The lies have got to stop. I've sat back year after year after year, listening to lies, questioning me as a man and my integrity, what I stand for, what I was raised on. That's been questioned. I sat back and didn't say anything. My guy, the coach, the legend, Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, has a great quote that I listened to just recently. He said he lost the address to the high road. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting closer because there's a side of me that's fed up, that's upset that you keep on smearing my name. Today a report came out that I was fired or dismissed from calling Knicks games. Honored and privileged to have an offer bestowed upon me to back up the legend Clyde Frazier calling Knicks games. Over a week ago, I turned that job down. You heard what I said. More than a week ago, I turned the job down due to the fact that it wasn't the ideal conditions and it wasn't the ideal time for me. You never know what the future holds. They say once a Knick, always a Knick. I bleed a side of me, blue and orange. I dreamt of playing for the Knicks. I dreamt of calling games for the Knicks. It would have been a dream accomplished, but it just didn't work out. I give the reporter credit. 4 calls yesterday from reporters trying to get a quote from me. I did not respond because I don't play that game. I let it alone, thinking that it'll die and nobody will know what happened. But over a week ago, I turned the job down. Forever grateful, and again, you never know what the future holds. But I want to thank you. Blessings.
So when we hear Mark Jackson speak on this topic, you start to learn that the stories that the media pushes out or the powers that be, they typically don't even align with the true story. Mark Jackson is telling people he turned that job down a week ago. So this tells me that either they were trying to coerce him into taking a job over the last week or so, and he continuously turned it down. So they threw mud on his name so he couldn't get a job nowhere else, make him look like a problem guy. And you look at like the way Mark Jackson has been blackballed throughout the NBA. It's been well known that he would want another coaching job. And you look at what Steve Kerr has been able to do with the Warriors. People feel like that's Mark Jackson's team. And Steve Kerr just came in and reaped the benefits of the foundation that Mark Jackson laid. Now, you could argue it either way. You could say they didn't win with Mark, whatever, but they were young. And he really didn't get the chance to do it after, we know what happened in San Francisco. We ain't got to rehash that. But you look at just the ways he's been blackballed throughout the NBA, they tried to throw more blackball type narrative out there on him, saying he had a problem with an assistant coach. And I've never known an assistant to have that type of cachet to be able to do anything like that. You know what I'm saying? To keep somebody off the sideline with the prestige and the notoriety of Mark Jackson and the fanfare and endearment he has in New York City. It just sounds crazy because it would have took, an issue with Leon Rose or issue with Dolan for me to say, okay, that's why he's not there. But just a some other personnel on the within some lower level personnel in the Knicks organization, I just couldn't see them keeping Mark Jackson away. So this is a strange story, man. It really makes you not believe anything you hear in the media anymore. And I'm glad Mark Jackson came out and spoke for himself. Hopefully Mark Jackson gets a job. I heard NBC is trying to get the NBA back on over there. I don't know if that's still going on, but they're trying to acquire that. And I know Netflix is trying to get some of the in-season tournament games in the future. So hopefully somebody gives Mark Jackson a job. I think Mark Jackson he's so good at what he does. I mean, he could commentate college games. I wouldn't mind hearing him on a few of the March Madness calls, to be honest with you. So Mark, if he wants to still commentate, man, there should be a lane for him. I know the Big Three is probably going to try to come get him. Now, I don't know if they can afford Mark, but Mark may do it off the strength. His brother, Troy Jackson Escalade, he was with Street Ball, so I could see him supporting other leagues too. If they try to get too funny over here in the NBA, I could see him supporting Cube, man. But I hate what they trying to do to Mark Jackson, man. He was a good coach, never got another opportunity. Well-spoken guy. He's a rare one that speaks good, talking about the game. Him and Jeff Van Gundy were great. That was inexplicable what ESPN did, getting rid of them two. And he can also actually coach the game. That's why you respect his opinion so much. The way he, developed Steph and Clay with his staff at the time. We didn't know what Steph was going to be with his ankles and all that early on in his career. But Mark molded those guys, and I feel like this dude's not getting the respect that he deserves, man, to be honest with you. Whether it comes to commentating or coaching, I don't feel like he's getting his just due at this point, and it's sickening. And I'm glad Mark Jackson has finally came out and spoke up for himself. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.